Hello there, my name is Elytrium, and welcome back to another Minecraft Bedrock tutorial with your favorite cardigan-wearing Minecraft character. And in today's Minecraft Bedrock tutorial, I have for you 5 redstone circuits you should know. These Minecraft redstone circuits are some of the simplest and most commonly used circuits I use in all of my redstone builds, ranging from my moss farm, gold farm, sheep and wool farm, and everything in between. And in my opinion, are something that you can easily commit to memory and create as memory items. Or said another way, items that you can build off the top of your head without needing to reference any tutorial whatsoever. And once you have these items memorized, you'll be very quickly able to construct them for any of your redstone builds that you have. And before we get started with the tutorial, if at any point you find these redstone circuits useful and decide to use them in your build, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and like, as it really does help the channel. And the first redstone contraption that I think you should know is the ever so humble T-flip-flop. T-flip-flops are incredibly important and incredibly simple contraptions that you can add to your build that allow you to toggle a state on and off programmatically. So rather than having a lever facilitate an on and off state, you can have this contraption anywhere inside of your redstone build, hook up either a button to it or any other type of redstone signal, and that will allow the state of whatever this is to be turned either on or off. These are incredibly useful when you either don't want to have a lever sticking out somewhere, or when you want to disconnect what a lever input would be connected to from the actual circuit itself and wire it up with a redstone, making this a very compact and programmable feature that you can add basically anywhere inside of your build to turn something on and off. Building the circuit is of course incredibly simple. We just need to place a single dropper facing up, a dropper on top of that facing out, a hopper pointed back into that bottom hopper, and then a comparator facing out. Place a button over here on the side and then an item inside, and when we push that button, this will turn the T-flip-flop on and off. Overall, this is a really simple contraption that you can use, and it is so incredibly useful in doors and any other type of mechanism that you could want. Now, the next circuit that I think you should know is what I like to call a timer circuit. And this is a incredibly simple circuit that allows you to, well, you guessed it, measure time. And what do I mean by measure time? Well, by filling up this bottom hopper with any number of items, and then filling this top hopper up with as many stacks of 64 items as you want, you can create very accurate clocks that will allow a redstone signal to be triggered from this topmost repeater to a redstone circuit of your choice. This clock is used in many of my farms, but most notably is used in my moss farm, which allows this circuit to flush water and send out all of the items down into a hopper collection system so they can be converted to bone meal every 5 to 7 minutes or so. It is a very simple contraption that you can use in a lot of different configurations and that you can easily vary the time of depending upon what your exact needs are. Building this circuit is incredibly simple. You can just get blocks of any kind, place 2 side by side like this, and then we're going to make a V as shown here, and then extend that V on one side on up here. Then we're going to place 2 hoppers feeding into one another, and then place a single item or as many as you want inside of those hoppers. Next, you're going to get out comparators, place 2 facing outwards from those hoppers, 2 facing back into them, place down 2 pieces of redstone torch, 1 piece of redstone torch up here, and then we're going to do the same thing, feed in 2 hoppers into one another. Now, for long timers, you can fill this up with 5 stacks of 64 items, or you can adjust the timing to whatever you may need for your farm. When the configured time of your timer circuit has been reached, this topmost redstone torch will fire off and send a signal to whatever contraption you may desire. And if you want to stop this timer circuit, you simply need to power any one of these bottom hoppers with a redstone torch or any other piece of redstone. And once the items finish flowing between all of the hoppers, that hopper will be locked and your timer circuit will be held in a reset state so that when you start it up again, you'll be able to have a very fresh 5-minute or whatever minute timer you need. Moving on over to our next circuit, here is what I like to call our dispenser clock. This is a very simple and most importantly, super reliable clock for dispensing items out of a dropper or a dispenser. I like both of these designs because they are incredibly reliable always flush out all of their items and won't break and get stuck in a very weird state. And I have two designs for you. One that is 5x2 and another that is 3x3. So if you're looking to have something more compact or you have different resources on hand, both of these can be made in your world. The circuit on the right here is my personal preference and is the one that I use most often. It is most flexible in that you can dispense items either out to the right or up, whereas this farm, while you have less options for where your items can be dispensed, it is more compact in a 3x3 area. I use these circuits primarily for redirecting items from a hopper input source and shooting them out into either a water stream or into a water bubble elevator. The first circuit is really straightforward to build. You'll get a dispenser, face it out the direction, place a comparator directly behind it with the light turned on, a repeater, another comparator directly behind it, then you're going to get a line of redstone dust, follow it over to the side, put a redstone dust down here, and then directly underneath your dispenser, place a target block to redirect that signal. Then place in any amount of items that you want, and that will spit that out into whether that's a water stream or a soul sand bubble elevator. You place soul sand right down here, then just encapsulate this entire section as so, place some water, then build this tower on up. You will have a very simple item bubble elevator that you can use to transport these items just about anywhere in your world. And depending upon the height of your bubble elevator, you can either put water in row by row as I have done here, or use kelp to break those items and get them flowing again. But regardless of how you get that bubble elevator going, all you'll need to do is place your items in and you have an easy way to redirect these items and send them either up or out in a different direction. The second 3x3 and more compact variant also starts off with a dispenser with a hopper facing into it, a barrel on top, a hopper facing into that, and then another hopper facing into that as so. Alternatively, you could put another hopper here. A barrel just makes it simpler to save on the iron resources, which in early game can be incredibly important. Behind the dispenser, you're going to want to place a target block with a comparator pointed out of that hopper with the light on, block dust, place down a repeater right here behind this target block facing out. Then we're going to wire that up with 2 pieces of dust. And now you have a second variant of this clock that is 3x3 and equally as fast. To get items to run through this, you will need to place it in this topmost hopper. You cannot place it in any of these other ones, as this is the hopper that is ticking and clicking. It is really important that you have that set up for there. If you were to remove that and just place the items in this barrel here, as you can see, that doesn't work. So you do need all of these hoppers in place. The next circuit that I think you should know is this super ultra reliable redstone repeater clock. This is a extremely simple circuit that you can add, which allows you to toggle and also change the speed of a clock input so that you can have this go either as fast or as slow as you want within the 4 available input slots. You can also toggle this on and off using either a lever or a piece of redstone torch beneath it. Making it is very simple. You're just going to build up this T shape and knock out this middle block, place down a repeater going in any direction. To the front of that repeater, you're going to want to place a piece of redstone dust. And then on the back of this block, you're going to want to grab yourself a redstone torch, place it down into that, and then a lever on the side for you to control it, as shown here. Once you have this lever in place, you can turn it off and then also on to control the state of this. This is an incredibly simple and pivotal piece of redstone circuitry and is one of the more reliable circuits that won't accidentally burn out or break should you accidentally unload the chunk. And finally, the last redstone circuit that I think you should know is the very simple flying machine. This flying machine is incredibly useful, doesn't require any slime blocks. You can make this farm using just honey, and you can also extend this out a total of 2 more blocks, which makes it very useful for any large scale farms that you have. So anything that grows up like sugarcane or bamboo. Building it is very simple. You only need 2 sticky pistons, 2 regular pistons, 4 repeaters, and then as many honey blocks as you want to extend it out. And as you can see here, it's very reliable, which means it can break down anything that stands in its way, or serve as a mobile transport platform for you to walk across. And as I mentioned, building this contraption is incredibly simple. You'll want to start with 2 pieces of obsidian or any other immovable block, build out 5 blocks, and then you're going to bring out 1 block. Then you're just going to mirror that pattern here on the other side in the opposite direction. Next, we're going to place down a observer facing in. Go ahead and get your regular pistons, have it face out, place another observer pointed away from that, and then place a sticky piston into these honey blocks. Now, when you're ready to fire this farm off, make sure that at your destination, you have something to stop it, either obsidian or any other immovable block, and then you can trigger any one of these observers here on the side. This farm will fire off, and then you have yourself a very simple horizontal flying machine. And those are the 5 redstone circuits that I think you should know. But that's all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, if you found this video useful, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, as it really does help the channel. But that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.